First, joining me with reaction, one lawmaker who questioned Secretary Sebelius at today's hearings. That's Pennsylvania Senator Pat Toomey. Also joining us, Utah Senator, known as a lightning rod, Mike Lee. Good to see you both.
Hi, Sean.
Hello, Sean.
Senator Toomey, were you happy with the answers you got today?
I wasn't happy at all, Sean. There were no good answers today. You know, I was really focused on how blatantly the administration has broken their promises, really dishonest promises. Let's face it. They knew they couldn't deliver on the promise that everyone was going to have more affordable health care. Certainly not when the administration was forcing people to buy more expensive plans. They knew that it was not true that you would be able to keep the insurance plan you had if you liked it, especially since the reality is you'd lose it if the administration didn't like it. And finally, it was never true that you'd be able to keep the doctor that you have now if you want to, because the new plan that the Obamacare forces you into might not work with the doctor of your choice. Right. We demonstrated this. She had no good answers to these problems.
So you can't keep your plan, you can't keep your doctor, and then you got rate shock on top of it, and Right. It's not going to cost $900 billion. It's costing way more. Senator Lee, we have played over and over again. I won't do it again here tonight, but we can play it. The president, if you like your plan, you can keep your plan, period. Then the president said earlier this week, well, we did it in slow motion so people can really see him, well, lie about his lie.
If you have or had one of these plans before the Affordable Care Act came into law, and you really liked that plan, what we said was you could keep it if it hasn't changed since the law was passed.
Now, we did a slow motion of that because the president prepared, read the lie. It was preordained. Rather than just admit the truth, Mike Lee, did you see that? He's looking down at his notes, making sure he gets the exact wording. What did you think of that?
It was scripted. It was a scripted act of deception, one that's resulting in an extraordinary amount of pain for many millions of Americans. At least 3.5 million Americans just from 21 states surveyed earlier this week are losing their health insurance. Meanwhile, this thing keeps getting worse and worse the more we learned about it. And today, we learned from Secretary Sebelius that not only is Big Brother watching, not only is Big Brother collecting a lot of really dangerous personal information about all of us through the navigators, but Big Brother himself might in many instances be an ex-convict. And that's extraordinarily disturbing on top of everything else.
That was an incredible revelation today, too. All right, none of this, Senator Toomey, is helping the president. He now has his lowest approval ratings ever. He's now in the 30s, as we put up on our screen. And this is the latest Gallup poll. His disapproval rate is even worse at 53%. Let me ask you, though, about your colleagues, because you've got all these blue state Democrats, Mary Landrieu, Mark Pryor, Mark Bellich, red states up for re-election 2014, and many of them on record saying the following.
Those individuals who like the coverage they already have will be able to keep their current plan. This is a very accurate description of this bill.
Many people say, I like my health insurance right now, Senator. I don't want to change. I don't want to go into Medicare or Medicaid. I like what I have. Would you please leave me alone? And the answer is yes. In fact, we guarantee it.
We here in the Senate are working on legislation that will protect people's choice of doctors, will protect their choice of hospitals, will protect their choice of insurance plan. If you like what you have today, that will be what you have when this legislation is passed.
I'm not going to support a health care reform plan that's going to take away health care that you've got right now or a health care plan that you like.
Now, Senator Toomey, have any one of your Democratic colleagues, have they spoken out against this big lie that they themselves regurgitated? Are they willing to now go back and stand with conservatives and guarantee that if you like your plan, you can keep it?
Well, that proposition is going to be tested, but I haven't seen them come forth yet. The real problem for them, Sean, is, the American people are very reasonable. They're understanding and even forgiving to a point. If somebody makes a mistake and admits to it, they'll usually accept that and work with that. But when people willfully deceive them, when people make a promise they know they can't keep, that's a lot harder to forgive. So I think this is going to come back and haunt these folks.
Yeah, Senator Mike Lee, I know you came under fire. Ted Cruz came under fire. What did you think of the fact? I know a lot's been made. We're going to get into this later about Governor Christie, and Governor Christie won a big election yesterday. But he's been critical of Ted Cruz and Rand Paul and And Tea Party conservatives, I've never heard Governor Christie call out the president for lying about this health care issue. Does that bother you?
Well, it bothers me anytime we have people criticizing fellow Republicans, especially fellow Republicans for just standing behind the principles that they believe in, while refraining from criticizing the president. Look, it is the president who shut down this government. It is the president who refused to negotiate even one single inch. It was the president who refused to allow the government to be funded unless he got everything he wanted, including full funding for Obamacare implementation. We need to be focusing our arrows on the president. He's lied to the American people. Those lies are harming millions of people, and it's time for us to hold him accountable.
All right, guys, good to see you both. Senators, thank you for being with us. Appreciate it.